Hi, everybody. Dan D. Federicis from Saratoga Report. It's an exciting day today for me because here I am with the one, the only Tom Durkin. Just about all of you know who he is, but I'm going to go over a little bit. He was the race caller, of course, at not just Saratoga Racecourse, but the entire NYRA circuit from 1990 to 2014. And he is also NBC Sports from 1984 to 2010. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. He doesn't slow down, folks. He retired. He keeps reinventing himself and pivoting. He's been a horse owner. He's been an instructor at Saratoga Central Catholic School, Spa Catholic. He still is. And his latest new venture is he is an author. His autobiography, A Life's Calling: The Voice Behind the World's Greatest Horses. That comes out in just a few weeks, folks. May 28th. That's really exciting for him. It's exciting for all of us. Tom, thank you for joining Saratoga Report. And how are you feeling with all this going on?
Good. Yeah. Juggling a few different balls in the air, but trying to keep busy. Keeps me out of trouble. Almost.
Now, the impetus for this, Tom, is what was this your idea? Did somebody approach you to write an autobiography? And I know you've got some help in it from Paul Volponi and Lenny Schulman. Is that correct?
Oh, more than help from those guys. Yeah, it was their idea, and why not? They did most of the heavy lifting, the writing. I know nothing about the publishing industry. I'm learning more about it as time goes on, but I basically provided the narration. It's a first-person autobiography, and then they put those words to paper and did a bunch of different things with a bunch of different people in the book. So it's the format's very interesting.
Okay, and about how long did this take the three of you to get this written?
Oh, a couple months on and off. Yeah.
Okay, and it's coming out just a few weeks, May 28th. Where are you excited? Are you nervous? Where's Tom Durkin on all this?
I just kind of taking it all in stride. I'm going to have to do some promoting for the book, as we're doing right now, and yes. So that'll be a little interesting for me to do. Something I've never done before, but it's almost, I don't find it that interesting because it's my life. I've lived this. Okay, fine. But apparently the authors thought there was enough interesting stuff going on there. And then, when I look back, I went, you did some pretty cool stuff, It was a great career.
Yes. And I hope I'm not stealing any. Yes, it was. And well, with the promotional materials, I was able to read ahead of time because it won't be out for a few weeks. It was pretty exciting just reading that. I hope I'm not stealing any thunder or giving away anything, but
steal away.
I didn't know that you essentially. I'm sorry?
I said steal away.
Okay. I didn't know that you had gotten your start or your big break anyway at the 84 Breeders' Cup, right? That's kind of when Tom Durkin sort of made it big. Would that be fair?
On that day, I went from Tom Who to Tom Durkin. Yes.
Okay.
Before that, not long before that. 18 months before that first Breeders' Cup day, I was the track announcer at Cahokia Downs in East St. Louis, Illinois. So that was a huge, huge step forward.
A track that probably doesn't exist anymore?
They had a very bad PR man, and they're out of business.
Okay.
I was the PR man.
Okay. That's great. And that day, you were rubbing elbows with Frank Sinatra, Liz Taylor, Cary Grant, and some others, right?
Yeah, just a small group of my friends. I hadn't had a drink in 2 months because I wanted to go into that very first Breeders' Cup day with a very clear mind, with a lot of energy, a lot of focus. And so as soon as those horses crossed the finish line for the Breeders' Cup Classic, which was a thriller in 1984, Wild, again, Gate Dancer and Slew of Gold, one of the iconic races ever. So I've got this access thing. It says Tom Durkin, NBC Sports, all access. I said, I'm going to go find a party. So I walked down a couple stairwells and there, it looked like a party. And there's this guy there. I have my binoculars and my notes and everything. And And there's this guy, he's obviously a security guard, he's like this, with the thing in his ear. And I go, excuse me, I want to go over to the bar there and get a beer. Could you just watch my binoculars while I go? And he goes, yeah, but if my man goes, I got to go. And I go, well, who's your man? And he looks over his shoulder like this. It's Gerald Ford, President of the United States of America. And so then I look around the room and there's Frank Sinatra sitting next to Liz Taylor and Cary Grant and Fred Astaire is there and Merv Griffin. It was unbelievable. I'm saying those names. A lot of people that don't recognize those names if they weren't born before 1970. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Big names even today, even though they're long gone. Those are that really raises eyebrows. And you were kind of like you said, Tom Who up until that morning, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, great. And what I didn't get a chance to read because it was only limited excerpts was your arrival or your hiring with NYRA and Saratoga. How did that all come about? And I assume that's all in the book, right?
Yes, I did not apply for that job, and many people will remember a guy named Hack, who was famous in New York horse racing television personality, and he and I had worked on the Breeders' Cup. I had been calling the Breeders' Cup for 6 years prior to 1990, and I was doing a lot of stuff. Traveling the country on ESPN, even internationally with NBC, calling the Irish Derby and Ireland and the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe in Paris and whatever. So my resume was pretty solid at that point. And Harvey thought, well, maybe I'd be okay at NYRA. And so Jerry McEwen called me up. We had lunch, and that was that.
Had you been to Saratoga? You must have been traveled through here prior to that.
God, yes. Oh, yeah. I've been coming to Saratoga for 35 years. Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't necessarily new, but the track announcer here, Saratoga being a unique place, a special place, people love it. Was that any extra level of? At that time, you were on TV quite a bit with the Breeders' Cup and so forth. But was that any extra level of holy cow, this is Saratoga, or did you were such a professional?
Yeah. No, Saratoga is the ultimate, it's the ultimate horse racing meeting in America, internationally, maybe. Well, not quite the best internationally now, but it was very special at Saratoga. And it's a unique place, as everybody knows. And calling the races here, it's very intimate. You're right in and among with people. Saratoga, walk up. I can't walk 10 feet down Broadway without somebody talking about horse racing, So there's a buzz in Saratoga that does not exist anywhere in America like it does at Saratoga. So Saratoga is a very special place to me.
Great, and you live here now, and you're teaching at Saratoga Central Catholic, Spa Catholic. That is a pivot. I liken that almost to Arnold Schwarzenegger in Kindergarten Cop, right? Just what a pivot you took a year or two ago to do that. How is that going?
It's great. I wish I didn't start doing it until 2 years ago. I wish I had started that as soon as I retired. It is so invigorating for me, satisfying. These kids at Spa Catholic are great. They're just a great group of kids, and I enjoy being around them. And I find it most satisfying to be able to maybe pass on public speaking skills to them. And it's something that, it was never taught at Spa Catholic, and I think it should be a mandatory course for high school kids, certainly in college, because nobody goes through life without having to make some sort of presentation. And if you're going to be in the realm of certainly of business, that's going to happen for you in medicine and all sorts of ways of life. So public speaking is a skill. And, most people have fear of public speaking. 60% of Americans have fear of public speaking. It's the number one phobia, more than fearing death itself. People would rather be in a coffin than give a speech.
And, and yet, like you said, it's essentially required a lot of careers. And in fact, those that are the most successful I've read are the ones that are the best storytellers. And that's one of the secrets to success.
Storytelling is key in public speaking. Key, absolutely.
That's great. I've got the book cover on the screen here. There's a young Tom Durkin with the binoculars. Do you know when that picture was taken or where? It looks like it could be Saratoga.
Oh, that's certainly Belmont Park. I can tell you that.
Okay.
When given the color of my hair, which was red at one point, was I don't know. That's probably from the 90s. I'm guessing.
Okay. Excellent.
And those
folks,
binoculars I
calling.
recognize. I didn't start using those binoculars maybe 1995. I remember those binoculars. Yeah.
Oh, okay. A Life's Calling, the voice behind the world's greatest horse races, written by our own. He's a Saratoga Springs resident, Tom Durkin. Tom, thank you for joining us. Folks, May 28th, it'll be available. Try and get it local. I'll talk about Northshire Books and so forth. If you're not in town, obviously you've got other choices. But Tom, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on this. I'm really, really excited for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the sales and this book climbing up the charts.
I hope to sell dozens of copies, Dan.
Thanks, Tom. You're great. Thank you. Take care.
All right, all the best. Thank you very much for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care, Tom.